Hello everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Well, as Thanksgiving kicks off the holiday season, I'm thinking now about all the different holidays that are ahead of us in the next few months and the opportunities that there will be to meet with family and friends and have conversations around the table, dinner table, sitting down at night after a long day of, just energy to talk about life and about family and what's important. And I'm just hoping that this year people will be able to get out into the world a little bit, travel some more, connect in person with their families, but it's not always going to be the case. So communication, I think, is important and all year round, but during the holidays, I think it's even amplified more. Now, Diana Robb, one of our bloggers, wrote this article on how storytelling can bring families together during the holidays. And I'm a big fan of stories. I love telling stories and I love talking about my experiences and sometimes it's just to myself, really. But, we have opportunities, I think, during this time of the year to share. So how can we creatively connect? This is the question. And I've been thinking a lot about this recently because I just put together a document that is a legacy planner. And it's a planner that I sort of curated questions, anticipated questions that families might want to ask you. Now, it all came about because I was thinking, so many times we lose people that we love, our parents, and, as we get older, and we just didn't ask them the questions. We just did not talk to them about the things that would have really helped to reveal something of their personality, something of their inner desires and experiences. And so I think that there's an opportunity to look at something like this legacy planner and complete it, fill it in, leave it in your little box of goodies that you're going to have people open, perhaps when you're not there anymore. And, I don't know, just maybe this is an idea for taking the time to ask the questions in advance. And this is a little picture of the planner. It's a downloadable printable that you can print. It's got all these kind of cool questions and, stimulation points, things to think about and share, and then just tuck it away. Or you can use this. You could download it and then just sit down with your family and answer the questions that were in that curated document, the legacy planner. Anyway, I'll leave the link for it below, but it's really, I think, helpful to have a structure with questions, specific things. You can think, oh, I wish I'd asked that. Don't think about it. But, I think there's opportunity more generally for storytelling to be a tool. Now, I actually, I bought some cards that were downloadable, again, from Etsy. I got into this kind of downloading mode because there's so much there. They're little cards that you can use to talk to children. And I sat down with and there's there's so many different variations on a theme, but you can print them and then that little card and then use them. So, for example, what is the best trip you've ever been on? What made it great? These are like family questions. If you could be famous for one thing, what would you like to be? There was one like, if you could have a pet, like just one pet for all of your life, what would it be? My grandson said, a fish. I thought, well, that will get a little bit boring maybe, but this is the kind of questions that are they tell you so much about someone. Oh, if you could have just one superpower, what would it be? It's a good question. One superpower, what would it be? And then it's got sort of, would you rather? So would you rather go on a trip or have a pile of presents to open? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one. Take a nap or go for a hike after Thanksgiving dinner. What did you do? Eat a candy apple or a caramel apple. Caramel. So these are really cute. So these are the kinds of cute little cards that you can start a conversation, a story with your grandkids or with your family. This is just a really kind of casual, kind of almost, funny, trivial kind of question, as opposed to the legacy planner, which might be like, what was the most important decision you had to make in your life? Or what did your neighborhood look like when you were a child? Those types of deeper questions are important too, but these are fun for kids. And that's an idea that you might want to explore. Now, Diana, the person that wrote this article about storytelling, was actually, she is a writer now, and she does this as her life because she found that not only does it help you to honor the present, and really be grateful for what you have in the present moment, but it also helps you appreciate the past. See it in context. I'm fascinated. I wish I'd asked my mom more questions about the war because they lived through World War II. And she was in, shelters most of her teenage years and had rationing. Life was really difficult. I would love to have asked her You know, what did she do? How did she deal with that now that we're facing some challenges ourselves here? So honoring the present, you know, anticipating or appreciating the past, anticipating the future. We can see, you know, rhythms and trends and things that, you know, that we value that could be projected out into the future to plan for, you know, the next decade of your life. Ways to be grateful. That's the final thing that these stories in Diana's mind will help you. So be grateful. My son has a great habit now with his children. Every night they sit down and do a little gratitude recital. I'm grateful for, even if it was just like, I'm grateful for, you know, Baba coming over today, or I'm grateful for, you know, the chicken dinner we had. All those things, just little things that just to remind you to be grateful. We had a pandemic that really, you know, did a number on us. I mean, it made us be afraid to go out. You know, we were isolated. We were told not to go out. We were told sometimes to stay home in your house for weeks on end. Do you remember that? I mean, it's sometimes like a distant memory now. I know it's there in my experience in my life, but it was really hard. We're back now. We're from the Zoom connections, which were best that we could do, to real life in-person connections. So rather than just, you know, try to, I don't know, get by yourself, maybe it's time now to reach out a little bit. And actually the Legacy Planner, I think, is a good way to do this too, because it will get you thinking about questions that others may have wanted to ask you, but now their lives are busy. They may not have a chance to even think about it. So, you know, doing something in advance or anticipating the questions, I think is a really good thing. So, you know, we've all done different things to cope with the reality of the pandemic in terms of communicating, storytelling with others. But it's nice to just sit down, maybe plan a dinner, plan a night where you're just going to, you know, watch a movie that you all love, and then just ask each other 5 questions. You know, just send a little email around to everybody and say, hey, let's have a dinner, and I'm going to ask, you know, I want to ask 5 questions, 1 to each of you or 5 to each of you, and let's have a chat. Let's just figure out what we know about each other. And I think it could be so much fun, especially during the holiday period, because, you know, many people may not be getting together in person, but if you're not, you'll be doing a FaceTime or a WhatsApp or some kind of a video call. And just even if you ask 1 question of everybody, tell a story. You know, what's your best present that you've ever received? I mean, I can tell you what mine was, because it was the best present ever. And I received some lovely presents in my life. You know, I've had diamonds and really expensive jewelry from my ex-husband. But what really was the best present ever was when my son bought me a garden gnome. Yes, it was a garden gnome. It was this huge, heavy package that was all wrapped up and no one knew what it was, and I unwrapped it, and it was a garden gnome. And actually I did keep that garden gnome in my garden for a long time. Finally gave it away to someone who had a garden when I moved. But no, I mean, it was just the kind of thing, it was so creative and it was so fun and it was just surprising. And I think that's part of the gift giving process. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be from the heart. It could have been a picture of a garden gnome, and I would have loved it. But, you know, we are maybe a little burned out on storytelling, but because of, you know, just not having people in our, you know, immediate, you know, proximity. But let's use this holiday period maybe to get together, talk, chat, you know, get a list of questions like the one I printed off on Etsy, or you can buy storytelling cards. I think that Diana Robb does conversation cards for meaningful storytelling. And she's done this deck, and she shuffled the cards and pick a question and ask it and chat. Just tell the stories. I think it's really, really cool. You know, I think some of hers are like, what was your earliest memory? What is your favorite family tradition? Describe the first time you fell in love. Those are questions that are really, really interesting. But stories bring us close together. They bring us closer together in all kinds of ways. So take a moment to, well, either write down the answers to the questions that you know, maybe not come up in conversation, but you want to record somewhere, or just put a little deck of cards together and take them with you when you travel, or on Christmas Day or New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and just ask them and wait for the answers. Wait till the stories appear. They will. And I just think it's a great way to connect across generations and through our families is super, super important. But anyway, I hope that this has helped you think about what you can be doing to use storytelling to bring your family closer together over the holidays. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I appreciate you all so much. I want you to know that. I don't know when this video will go up in a couple of weeks, but it won't be, I don't think it'll be past Christmas, but you know, I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you over this holiday period of 2 or 3 months. And I hope that the storytelling conversation helps bring you closer together to the people that you love. Take really good care, everybody. Have a fabulous day and know that you are loved truly, and take good care. Bye for now.